Welcome back, Magnetic Marketing members and Dan Kennedy aficionados, Darren Spindler, and our next speaker is one of our really great lifetime members, Marty Fort. Marty is the CEO, founder of Columbia
Arts
Academy, which is a series of music schools in Columbia, South Carolina, where he drives thousands of students into his brick and mortar locations. And in addition to that, Marty also coaches thousands of music academies around the globe on how to fill their schools with students. So Marty is a real student of direct response. Marty's a private client of Dan Kennedy's. And Marty, welcome to Why Advertising Fails.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Enjoy.
All right, everybody. So I'm so excited to be here today, and you got it's been an awesome morning already. It's going to be an awesome afternoon. So I'm also a musician as well as a marketer. So I want everybody to do something for me right now, even in this room. Gene, everybody go ahead and stand up for me. Let's go and stand up and stretch, because I've put together a jam-packed 45 minutes of really intense stuff to help you with your marketing. And the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is to do a true rock-on sign. Now, show me your rock sign. Everybody does this first. This is actually not a rock sign. This means I love you in sign language, which is fine, but slap that thumb right here. We're going to rock out together for the next 45 minutes, and I'll put together for you some real solid ads, because my background, as Darren was saying, is I'm going to take you through the three businesses. But I've been on Planet Dan since 2008. I've been a private client of Dan since 2009. And the ads I've brought together to show you today is what's helped me to build these three businesses. You know, Darren, when I spoke I participated in the Super Conference in Dallas in 2010. I only had or in 2009, one school, fledgling info business. Fast forward to today, I've got a huge portfolio of businesses, and it's all because of Dan Kennedy style marketing and the stuff you've learned in this book, and you got to get it and check out my chapter as well as all the other co-authors. So, I put together a music theme. We've gone hybrid. This was going to be in Nashville, so I thought it'd be fun to have a music theme in there. And I put together the presentation to help you. So get your pens out. Let's get ready. I'm not coming here today to talk about fluff. I'm coming here to kick as much ass as possible and give you things you can take home and put into your business tonight to get more customers and get this going. So, the title of my chapter in the book is the top 10 songs that will tell you why advertising fails and how to make yours succeed. It's important to understand why they fail, but then we got to get on track. Okay, well, how do we fix it? So again, I run a coaching program, I have a licensing program, I have brick and mortar businesses, and I'm going to kind of take you through each one of them. A lot of you have seen me in the newsletters, maybe heard me on a diamond call. As I said, I've been a private client of Dan's now for 12 years, spoken at some of the Magnetic Marketing and No BS events over the years, participated in their contests, that kind of thing. But a lot of you have no clue who I am, so it's important for you to know how much Dan Kennedy-style marketing has done for me, and it's important for you to know how I've been able to apply it to make money as a small business person, and we're going to go through the different ways I do that. So what do I do? Well, I'm a musician, I'm a music school owner, and I'm a former university music professor. You know, Gene, the reason I'm a former university professor, I always thought that was going to be my lot in life, right? Well, universities are very strange in that, especially if they're state-supported, every semester, an email is sent out. I want you to picture this. You're sitting in your office, and an email is sent out to the entire university at one time, which shows a spreadsheet of what every single person working there is making. It's like everybody at the same time in their office, like the guy next door, you know exactly what he's making, which to me is like mind-blowing. But what I learned, Gene, is that the writing was on the wall when I understood I could make more money schlepping mail, and there's nothing wrong with schlepping mail. It's got to be done. But it doesn't make sense for me to have a PhD and put all this time when I could be making more money. And because I used Dan Kennedy-style marketing, my school went from 30 students and just me to 50 to 100, 500. Now we're starting to grow 70, 80, grand, almost $1 million a year, that kind of thing. So I was like, I'm going to leave academia, and I'm going to go do this Kennedy thing and be a small business person. Of course, through Dan's influence, like a lot of you, I've become an author. I'm the author of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Music Lessons. This was a pretty cool accomplishment. We made it to #1 on Amazon, but if you look at there at the screen, especially as I was watching at home, #2, we even beat Alice Cooper for a period of time, so that was really big because he's been around a long time. I'm still a guitar player, still a singer, and had a real cool experience. Last March, I got to play on stage with Kirk Hammett from Metallica. So go and get your pens ready. One of the things you can do to really get your advertising to work is, as Dan discussed earlier today, you want to think, you want to be strategic. You want to think things through. So when I knew that we were going to have the chance, when Kirk Hammett came up, this was at the Columbia Museum of Art. He's a big horror fan. He had an exhibit of his artwork. And we said, they auctioned off this guitar for charity that he played. So well, let's get him on stage, So we had no rehearsal. He didn't really know us. He came up and played the song with us. But I knew Gene, he was going to be there, so I lined up the best photographer I could find. Right there, gave instructions, led two of the guys. So in advance, I'm like, we need to be able to get this and document. This is a one shot, not going to happen again. This is Kirk Hammett's Instagram. So for the power of that photo, from everything Dan's been saying, from putting energy into your marketing and making it fun and making it engaging, which is Dan's very good at all those things, Kirk Hammett posted this. Now, he posted this on his own account. The other thing that I did that was strategic is I didn't call the band like the Marty Fort band or some, Marty the Rockers, whatever name. I called the band for the event the Columbia Arts Academy Teachers Band. Well, obviously now you see why I did that. He put our hashtag in there, and he put on there, watching out for the zombies, playing with Marty Fort and the Columbia Arts Academy Teachers Band. So that got blasted to his Instagram account, which is enormous, and then he blasted it again. The irony of that situation is it happened on March 7th, 2020, so 1 week later, that would have never happened. It was the last thing for a long time. So, like I said, if you look at me today, I'm 46 and wearing a suit and short hair and all that kind of stuff. I'm really an 80s child at heart, and I love 80s rock, and I've opened up for Rat, opened up Skid Row. If No BS Magnetic Marketing had me in 2003, you'd be looking at this guy with the leather pants and the hair. But I do all types of music. I do classical music. We played at Steinway Hall in New York. If you want to check us out on YouTube, this is me and Zelko Pavlovich. She's one of my coaching clients. When Zelko started with me, he had 5 students. He now is in Houston, Texas, with 5 locations and 4,000 students. We did this just a few months ago. We did this like 3 months ago. We went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and rented the hall there, performed with our kids and our students and teachers. And we're still moving forward to the future. So we're going to be at the Graceland Guest House in April, rocking out there in Memphis, all right? So what's it all about? Why do we do what we do as business owners? Why do we try to make money? Why do we try to improve our advertising? One of the dates for our families. This is my wife, Valerie, our daughter, Katie. As Dan said earlier, some people are dog people. Obviously, you can see that I am a dog person, and we intertwine that with a lot of our marketing for the business, from the charity we give to with the pet shelters, which we've given over $100,000 to. I talk about it in the book. And we got a 4th dog coming Friday. So they're all rescues and trays, and they're a lot of fun. So now let's talk about the 3 ways I make money with Dan Kennedy style marketing, because it's going to apply to a lot of you. There are 3 basic streams. There are the brick and mortar music tools. There is, which is also commercial real estate tied into that. There is the licensing, and there is the coaching. So you guys watching this at home, all of you would apply to one of those 3 categories in some fashion. So Columbia Arts Academy, this is the building. We did an SBA loan for this. We own the building. So as Dan was discussing, as he was taping for his Diamond Master classes yesterday, and he's talked about it in a lot of his wealth attraction books and stuff. I'm building equity, every month that when the mortgage is paid, it's going back into my future for the family. But as I scroll through these, you want to pay attention to the photos, okay? Now, Dan alluded to it in the last session. What do most people do when they fail at their advertising? They're showing pictures of themselves, or they're showing pictures of things that don't really matter. What I've done to be successful with Dan Kennedy style marketing, and what you can do starting today to be more successful with your marketing, is to show your customers, okay? So I'll tell you a story. So for example, you go into a hair salon, the classic mistake is they'll have a picture of all the hairstylists and the owners. Well, first of all, in 3 months, one of them's gonna have quit, gotten fired, so the photo's getting dated anyway. Second of all, you would do a lot better to make your advertising work to show pictures of the customers. I recently switched to a new hair salon, and the reason I did that was one specific reason. I was looking at their marketing, and the guy had the exact haircut I wanted. I said, that's what I want, that's what they do, and it worked out. And that's how they obtained me as a customer. So what am I doing here with these pictures? Well, obviously, my big thing for the schools is kids, and mostly moms, because moms make 80% of the decisions, and they say to their husband, Gene, go do this, and where's the card, or whatever, But they're the ones that are vetting the school, feeling us out. And when they look at this and they see young kids, and the classic mistake I have with my coaching clients is they're showing these, look kind of like me in the leather pants picture. They showed like the rocker picture, but that's not what the moms want. The moms don't want the rocker picture with the connotation of drugs and booze and whatever else we do in rock and roll. They want to see their kids, because that's who they want to send down. This is my daughter, Katie, but again, it's not that I'm advertising that she's my daughter. I'm advertising that this is who we serve. This is what we do. So if you want to make your advertising work, be honest with your photos. Are they tying into Kennedy's thing of, do your potential customers see themselves in your photos? Let's keep working on that. Next to School of Music. Own the building for this one as well. It's a really cool spot. It's on an acre of land. So we do magazines still. Yes, we still do magazines. Yes, we still do print. There are plenty of studies that show that moms prefer print. They want to feel that magazine. And more people still have CDs, and some people think that's ridiculous, but the CD guys don't, and I'm one of them. I think one of the cool things that No BS has done is they will allow you to choose whether you want to get the CD or not, and I'm on the yes CD list. But this is on the cover of the magazine. You'll notice here, I'm nowhere on the cover. It's all pictures of the kids, pictures of the teachers, and there we go. This is my newest baby. This is 3 years old. This is the Irma Music Academy, and this is actually a twofer. We own the building for this as well, so we own the building for all three. So we're building our equity. The bottom floor is the music school. The top floor is the corporate office for the coaching business and for the licensing, which I'm going to get into in a second, okay? So once again, photos, 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 owning the commercial real estate. Because of the success I've had with Dan Kennedy Marketing, over $2 million in annual, we're really right now over $2 million in annual music lesson tuition, and that is a lot of music tuition. We've now parlayed that into licensing. I came up with a musical ladder system, which is a wristband and trophy award system to where basically the kids take tests. It is one of the only times in life when kids are excited to take a test. They can't wait to get it and achieve that. This is achievement-based. It's not participation-based. We have received 9 design patents, and I've got some big news. I was telling Gene last night at dinner, we just got notification 2 weeks ago. We got our utility patent. If you guys are in the patent world, that's a big deal because utility patents are hard to get. So we're very excited about that. There are the trophies. There's some promotions I did do with me. Now this is different because also as Adam Whitty's been big into and the authority stuff, I definitely have been able to intertwine that as well. So this is more of an authority marketing piece of where you want to go. You want to go with the guy that invented the system. Back to the earlier conversation that Dan was having about seeing the customer. What's so cool about what you're seeing right there is this is from one of our licensees. Our products, we're able to market it to where it sells itself. Gene, I imagine in your world, people are probably buying guns and then showcasing on social media or whatever they're doing. They're proud of the new thing they bought, and I know hunters are like that. This is the same thing. So what you're seeing here is they pass their test, the staff then with the system takes the photo, it goes viral and gets out. And this is what we do with our newsletters. We still do, of course, hard copy newsletters. And if you're not doing hard copy newsletters for your brick and mortar business, you're really missing out. And again, this is also, if you look on the, I don't know if there's going to be a replay of this or not, but if you look close, what's below the caption of the kids, and this is on our newsletters at columbiaartsacademy.com, we list the amount of months they've been with us. So the first person has been 15 months, 6 months, some 5 years, and it's important to showcase the retention of your clients. So this is ballooned, 120 schools, used by 30,000 music students. But the biggest business is the info biz, and is the coaching, Music Academy Success, musicacademysuccess.com, and actually of all 3 of the streams of income, this is the one that I use the most for Kennedy-style marketing, but whether it's sales letters, emails going out, Facebook, whatever. We are the largest business coaching program in the world for music studios. We have clients on 6 continents, business for 14 years. We call ourselves the home of the $1 million music schools. We take them from teaching in their apartments or struggling in a brick and mortar or struggling in a retail store that's dying because nobody's buying stuff in person, they're shopping online, and we take them to $1 million. We also are still serious teachers and performers, and that's important, especially for me to attract my crowd. They've done stuff at Carnegie Hall, Kennedy Center for the Arts, Royal Academy of Music London. They've been in the LA Times, Houston Chronicle, which is the number 3 paper, I believe, in the United States, and the Inc. 5000, which you only get into that if you're grossing a ton of money on your returns. The pictures kind of speak for themselves, and I'm going right back to what I'm trying to give you guys first in this presentation of I'm showing them who comes to the events. This is our sold-out event in Dallas. This is our sold-out event in Cleveland. Gene, you will recognize that room, which is across the street for many years. We all came together there. This was a really gorgeous ballroom. This was Charleston, South Carolina. And we've done stuff in New York, LA, Nashville. So why am I going through all this? Because I want to show you the power of what we're about to further reinforce that Dan's already talked about, that's in the book and Unleashed, because you can kick so much more ass in your business and get what you want and go from being like me in 2008 with just one business to having all these streams of income. And I wanted to show you what it's about, and it is for real. And real quick, again, the way we summarize Music Academy Success, I help music studio owners, and there's some good copy that you can use for your business and apply and just change it. I help them to get more students, have less stress, improve their marketing, and achieve 6-figure incomes. Is that pretty? No. Is it clear? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So guys, let's get your rock on sign again. Let's get your pens out. And who's ready to get more customers? Who's ready to make their ads work? But who's really ready to rock their advertising? So let's do this, guys. I got 30 minutes left. I got a ton of stuff to show you because I know what it's like to be in that seat at home. I've been in the seats here. What I always wanted was somebody that would come up and give me something I can use, that I can really put into action. And that's what I prepared for you today, all right? So here's my top 10 song list of why your ads are not working. Song number 1. You're so vain, you probably think this ad is about you, which is off of the You're So Vain, Carly Simon. This is the classic, I think, where we start as marketers. Again, we all want to make vanity pieces. First of all, if we're honest with ourselves, we all got egos. Everybody running a business has an ego because you one day said, you know what, take this job and shove it. I'm going to go out and make my own way in life. I'm going to call the shots. I'm going to do my thing. And as entrepreneurs, if we don't have an ego, we die. We have to have some kind of ego, all right? So it kind of makes sense that the vanity thing would be natural to us to want to showcase how wonderful we are and how awesome we are. And it goes back to what I said, whether it's the salon picture with the staff, which really means nothing, versus the clients, okay? So if you're going to get your advertising to work, again, I'm reinforcing earlier, step 1, start to showcase pictures of the clients, but also what they're going through. So this is a newspaper ad. Yes, we still do newspapers. Why? Because they've gotten cheaper. People still read them. And this is a great example. This is actually from more of a magazine. So what have I done here? Again, if you're listening along, our ideal avatar is the mom. Well, this actually happened in my house recently. Katie had a friend over. They had these plastic swords out, and they're beating the crap out of each other. And the headline is not, come see Marty Fort, he's amazing, check out blah, blah, blah. The headline is your home about to be invaded all day by kids who are on summer break because you haven't lined up an activity for them yet. Now, busy parents all understand that because they haven't lined up the summer activity. And the last thing they want is a packed house of kids going stir crazy like this. Also, again, we want to make this advertising rock, and we'll talk a lot about that. Put some energy into it and put some fun into it, and that's what that photo is right there. Second, clarity. Well, we're driving them to the solution. If they don't want the house full of kids, beat them up with swords, then they need to take music lessons. Below that, offer, offer, offer. Always have an offer in the ads. And here's an important tip with cash value, $55 off, not 20%, not 30%. People don't know what that means. It's vague. They know what 55 bucks is. They get that. Always with a deadline, okay? Then, if the copy's a little low for me to see from here, but we drive them with the CTA, always the call to action, take the next step, clear where to go next. Multiple ways to respond. They can call, they can text, they can email, they can go to the site, boom. We keep rocking. All right. All of these photos you're looking at are not stock photos. The one before that was, because it was, it's from that, but the ones I'm showing you next up these are our actual students. So if you want a big tip from me to really get your photos and your ads rocking, it's simple. Pick 5 of your best families that love you and love what you do. Give them some bonus, gift card, whatever. Have them come down and do a stage shoot at your location, okay? Don't get the wedding photographers that want $1,000 and they're going to give you 5. You want the guy on Thumbtack for $400 who will give you the entire gallery, and boom, it's yours. But when these moms see this, I mean, look at that mom to her kid. That's already getting my ad a lot of the way, because what's going through the parents' head is they're feeling guilty about not spending time with their kids. They're feeling guilty that childhood is finite. Now they can do something together. So we put in the headline to that end of, they know childhood's finite. They want to spend time with their kids. They want to do something productive. Is it time for you or your child to learn how to play music? And then you see the rest. We've got the offer, the subhead, and all that. And you'll notice in the copy, so here's a copy cosmetic homework for you. I'm not afraid of what would be seen by some as ugly or awkward copy. I don't think it is ugly or awkward. I think it's powerful. Capital letters. Yeah, yell at them. Tell them talking to you, Next one. Varying up the colors in the fonts. And again, listen, ad agencies and graphic guys, Gene, as you know, hate this. And we're going to talk about that battle in a second, okay? But I don't care because I'm here to send out $1 and get dollars back, okay? So the variants in the cosmetics with the red. Any 1-year-old can learn how to play music, and we can prove it. And you see in the copy cosmetic here, we're getting more aggressive. You got the capital, this is the year you or your child, boom, boom, boom. And some people say, Marty, this is kind of ridiculous. You're yelling. No, I'm not yelling at them. I'm trying to get their attention. I'm trying to get penetration to get them to come on. And that's why my schools are the largest in my state. That's why My coaching clients are the most successful in the world at what they do because of Dan Kennedy marketing and everything we're going through. Here's a Facebook ad example. This is a good direct response piece. And the first thing you say, well, Marty, that spacing is kind of janky. I actually think that kind of helped us with this. A lot of the times I just have to get things out. We don't want to have slop. However, I do think at some point as business owners I'd rather have something sent out than nothing sent out. And the perfectionism can lead to paralysis. Perfectionism can lead to paralysis. So, yeah, we got a Facebook page, but everybody makes mistakes on Facebook. There's typos rampant on Facebook. They know it's a digital platform, no big deal. But what's in here, guys, and you hear the word a lot, Columbia Arts Academy is ready to help you rock it for back to school, sign up for lessons, get a free $75 back to school supply pack. Items include pencils, pens, rulers, erasers, highlighters, case, sharpener, blah, 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 and a $25 retail credit to use, and a tote bag, plus a Frisbee, puzzle, koozie. We lay it on thick, and it's easy to get yours. So I'm driving them to the CTA. I'm telling them this is not hard. There's no application. Let's just do this. Fill out this brief form. We'll take them to the landing page, and then I give them more. Or call us, text us, and here's the best part, I think. We'll take care of the rest. Gene's a busy guy. We got you covered. Ready to do this? Let's do this. So, and I use this also in my staff training to get them just as pumped. We all got to be dialed into, there's so much that comes from Dan's teachings into the service we give and the way we communicate with our customers. Don't forget, offer expires this date, new students only, and then we go into some more visuals of, I like to show, and so you look here, you see exactly the school supplies. There is the school supplies, okay? Let's talk more about photos. Great photos versus stock photos, okay? So these are actually photos of the school's course. These are our students, and these help the ads so much going forward, so I can't say enough about the quality of photos. We still use radio. We still use TV. We use all kinds of stuff. So this is a big one. We were talking about this at dinner last night, even though you guys are on screens right now. What's the number one battle going on with most kids and their parents right now? Too much screen time. Did I get some parents and teachers at home watching this? Is there too much screen time going to your house? So what we do with this latest radio ad is we brought in Katie, my daughter, brought in my wife Valerie, and this is the copy, and Katie's reading this, and she's 6 years old. Mama, I want the tablet. Valerie, my wife, says, Katie, you've already had a lot of screen time today. And all the parents are saying that. They're not saying we want more screen time. They're saying we want less screen time. So Katie goes on, but I want to play on the tablet. Valerie says, no, we need to do something else. And now mom's getting pissed. She's ramping up. But then it hits her, and because Katie then gets more aggressive because she's 6. Mom, Valerie says, okay, Katie, I've got an idea. You know that song you like? Go play your piano while I'll make dinner. That drives the sale home. Because again, I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about the fact they're my wife and kid. I'm not talking about my bio. I'm talking about I understand what's going on in their house. So your homework and to get you into action to rock your advertising. Use this template. What is going through your customer's mind? What's bothering them? If it's guns, is it security? Is it armed robbery? I don't know if you guys saw the stat because of this chip shortage. Car theft is up 30% because they're stealing the cars and flipping them for a high dollar. So they're worried about that kind of thing. That's what's going through their heads. Then the rest of it, I go right for the jugular. Hey, parents, is this happening at your house? Are your kids on the couch and the tablet way too much? And then I do get into who I am because, again, like Adam talks about with the authority marketing, especially in my niche, dealing with parents, they want to know who I am, are we safe, that kind of thing. I'm Marty Fort, director of the Columbia Arts Academy, South Carolina's largest music school. We can teach your kids how to sing, play the guitar, piano, drums, and more for ages 4 and up. Here we go. Here's your template. Here is your blueprint. It's easy to get started. You could start as early as tomorrow. We have locations Columbia, Rosewood, Lexington, open 7 days a week. As a parent myself, I get it. Kids have a lot of distractions these days, but music lessons can help them focus. Now, this is really a sweet spot here, so take this to heart. Apply it to whatever it is you do. Helps them focus, gain confidence, improve their grades, and have fun. Not all parents are academic parents. Some just want their kids to have a great childhood, as they all should, and just have fun. So we got to throw that in there as well. I like this line a lot. So let's cut down on that screen time, and let's get their fingers moving instead of just their thumbs. Is that direct? Yeah, but that's why me and Dan get along, because we're direct guys. And we're not for everybody, but the people we are, it just clicks and it works. And you much rather have customers that you click with than ones that you don't. CTA, call our knowledgeable office team so we can tell you about how we can help your child. Visit Columbia Arts Academy, I tell it 3 times. So remember, this ad is not about you. It's about providing a solution to the customer, making them aware of a problem, giving them a limited time to respond, multiple ways to respond, song number 2. Now, Dan talked about this earlier, so you're going to hear a lot of synergy about what he and I are going to talk about. But this is a real thing, which is what he calls NIOP. And I've seen this, especially as a coach, over and over and over again. I've seen it, friends, and I've seen it with people trying to do it to me. You're going to leave this event. You're going to read this book. You're going to make some kick-ass ads, and they're going to be fantastic. You're going to show them to your wife, your uncle, your buddy, another business owner. Maybe you're in a breakfast club with business owners, whatever, and they're going to hate it. That's a good sign. Don't change it. Don't throw it away because you're wasting it all. They just don't understand. They're not on the level, okay? And I actually had this happen. I'll tell you a story. I put an ad, and this was a family member. They said, Marty, you can't say take the next step. I'm like, they said, well, it's tacky. I'm like, no, you're insane. Just get out of here. And there's actually a test I put in here. When you go to the book, so I'm in chapter 17. This is going to happen to you. So you're going to show them your ad. You're going to show them what else you're doing. I want you to go to this quiz, and these are the 4 things I want you to ask yourself about the person in your life that means well. I want you to ask them this one. How many customers do they have? Do they have a merchant account? Do they have a business license? Have they ever made a sale in your life? Well, listen, I know you love your uncle and you better love your spouse, but if they don't have those things, I'm sorry, they're not qualified to tell you what to do with your advertising. And if they're an ad agency, worse, they just want to sell you more branded ads that you're not tracking. We'll talk about that in a second. So you can see how excited I am to be here. I told the sign guys before I came on. I mean, I love to speak, I love to perform, and I love marketing. I get just excited about doing ads and advertising as I am talking to you guys today. So a big one to put down for your homework to leave here, and I'm going to give you a homework top 10 at the end, is your marketing isn't talking loud and it ain't saying nothing. Already through this, I'm already getting a little tired. I say a lot in my marketing. I say a lot in my marketing, and it's all thought out, it's all laid out. And Dan's a brilliant thinker, and he's a brilliant author, and he's a brilliant coach. And the same thing. So your homework is looking at your marketing saying, okay, are we really talking loud enough? And are we really saying enough? But not too much where it gets off track. There's a danger if you go on too on and you're just kind of rambling, it's not going to go. But if you've got direct bullet points help. Things going through their heads for your customers, that helps. But we got to get that going. Now, 4 is a big one. Dan also talked about this. This is Unchain My Stats, which is a play on Unchain My Heart by Joe Cocker. Now, don't feel bad you don't know your stats. Almost everybody that starts coaching with me, none of them are tracking anything. Anything. But if you're going to leave here, you're going to make these awesome ads. You got to know which ones are working, which ones are not, which ones got to be tweaked. If you ever watched the TV show Deadliest Catch on Discovery, which is about crab fishermen, the one thing I love about that, these are $1 million crab boats. They're going out risking life and death to do this, and big bucks on the line. Now, they could have some fancy software, but the way they track the crab count is simple. The guy on the deck holds his fingers up. The captain has a yellow legal pad and a pen, and he writes the count down. And I would rather have, and actually that's kind of how I run my businesses, guys. I have simple one-page spreadsheets, and people hate it. They're like, well, software. No, the problem with software is this. I'll say, hey, Charlie, what is the results from this ad, and what is the results from this? And they'll say, well, got to log in, pull up the report, takes a long time, don't really understand the report. I'd rather have the crab count of this ad did what, this ad cost this much, it produced this much, and what happened. And if you're going to leave this event and leave reading this book, you got to get your tracking going, and that's the problem with the staff. Not only the software, but your staff. You got to get your staff focused on this. All of my staff, and this is a big writer-downer, knows all of the metrics for our company. They know where the students came from. They're tracking it for me. This is not about you just doing more. This is about getting them doing and going stuff. So what's the challenge with that? One of the challenges is ad agencies and media companies, a lot of them, if they're honest, don't want you to track anything because they don't want you to know that your ads are not working. So this is a true story. I went to a radio station. I did my copy, went through everything. At the end, I said, call us, tell them you heard about us on this station, and you'll get X. Tell them you heard us on this station. Literally, their jaws dropped. The blood went out of their face. 3 executives barged in, and literally they cornered me. They said, you cannot do that. I said, well, I'm just going to leave now because it's either this way or that way. Finally, they acquiesced. I moved on. It got worse at the second station because word got around that this is what I do. They let me tape the thing. When I got home, then they sent me an email. Said, well, by the way, we got to take the last part out. I'm like, no. Now I'm even madder because I went and taped the thing. They're just trying to take it out. And you got to fight. You got to stand up for yourself because this is a big thing. But they don't want you to track. And you must be obsessed with simple tracking systems. And I look at my numbers every single day. And Dan's always said, the guys that are successful, they all know their numbers, all right? So, song number 5, one is The Loneliest Number, which is Three Dog Night. Really, I think had the biggest hit with it. Harry Nilsson wrote it. But listen, I know what you guys are doing right now. A lot of you are saying, the worst thing possible, which is, Marty, I don't advertise. And unfortunately, some of you are proud of that. And I think that's just sad because you're leaving millions of dollars on the table. But there is a thing in the ego of, I'm above advertising. I don't advertise. And it's total BS. So other thing that's about just as bad is you're only doing one thing, or most of you are doing referrals, maybe a sign, you got a website. And the website ain't collecting information, there's no call to action, there's so many other cool things we've already covered that you can do with your website. So the worst number for your marketing is doing those one things or nothing. What I want you to do, and this is the quickest way to leave this event, read this book and get more out of your marketing right now. This I want you to write down. I want you to take a piece of paper, vertically I want you to write numbers 1 through 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you will just tonight, and I'll give it to you in your homework, write down 10 things that you could do to market your business. All of you can make a list of 10. You will go so much further, so much faster. So what Dan talks about, diversity leads to stability, instead of doing 1 or 2 things to doing 10. So just do it and get it going and make it a system. Now, a lot of this, as Dan also talked about earlier today, is our behavioral issues as far as what we do psychologically and what we do with our days. And again, I've got soon to be 4 dogs, wife that I love, kid, band, playing shows, coaching, licensing, 80 contractors, 15 full-time employees. I got a little bit going on. And I'm having a great time here at this event because I'm able to come free and do it because I can give away my time. But song number 6 is just another Manic Monday. And for you, every day is a Manic Monday. That's by the Bangles. This is the way to get out of this. I need you to burn your busy card. Busy is a bad word. It's not a good word. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Marty, we got problems with taxes. We got everybody saying right now, we got problems with labor. We got problems with shortages. We got problems with inventory. You don't understand, Marty. I got family problems. I got health problems. I got problems. Well, if you're going to get your advertising to work, you can't lose all your bandwidth to that, because when you're dealing with your problems, it's taken away from your focus on your marketing, okay? We had dinner last night. We're talking about this, the importance of getting good management in place, getting good general managers, hold them accountable. Dan writes a lot of books on that kind of thing. My favorite book by Dan is Ruthless Management of People and Profits. So not only get this book, get that one too, get all Dan's books. I mean, the guys that have really made it here, you know, be a master of one. Get all of the Kennedy books and the Magnetic Marketing, no BS stuff. But this is what I tell my coaching clients. Watching this, guys, whatever it is in life you do, you are in the perennial problem business. There's no panacea where the problems stop. Problems are a good thing because it shows we have cash flow. I'm going the wrong way. Cash flow, customers, and that's what we do. But we're in the perennial problem business. So get a way to systematize it, get good management, because you can't let it take away from your bandwidth and your focus on your marketing. Song number 7, The Show Must Go On, which is by Queen. All right, now here's the big thing. Emotion is the catalyst and the enemy of the entrepreneur. You know what I mean? In my music schools, we go through all kinds of crazy stuff. We had recently a stalker at the school. In the coaching business, I see all kinds of stuff. I have 70 private clients a month I work with, and there's just especially so much going on. So the problem is if we don't check our emotions, okay, we're not going to be able to focus on our marketing, focus on fixing the problems, go through managers, so that's a big one. Now, again, I want to talk about freedom. I am free to play in bands. I am free to come and do events like this. I am free to make new stuff, which is really what makes entrepreneurs happy. You guys want to make stuff. You get physically high when you create stuff. So I'm going to give you a brain hack that I use with my wife. When I'm having a bad day, and I'm going through problems, and I'm frankly, Gene, bitching about something, Valerie has it just every time. She says, okay, do you want to work for someone else? I say, no. And everybody watching this, that's why we do what we do. This book is so important, and Dan Kennedy Marketing and everything they do at Magnetic Marketing No BS is so important because it gives us the freedom to not have to work for somebody else. And there is a danger if you let the problems drown you, if you let the emotions drown you, if your marketing keeps sucking, you're not going to be free to do that. And I want you to start to use this hack. Next time you're having a bad day, something tragic happens, could be tonight, could be tomorrow, ask yourself, okay, what am Marty saying at the event? Do you want to work with somebody else? We all know the answer is no. Rock you like a hurricane, guys. You can tell how much zeal I have for marketing and business, and I'm having a blast. I'm not burnt out by all the stuff that's on my plate. I'm having a great time. Came in here today on the drive in, called each of my general managers, talked about 2 minutes each, and boom, I've got the night ahead of me and I'm ready to rock. But you got to be able to put a rocket like a hurricane and make it fun. And if you really study Dan's work, you study his examples, he has a great way with a sense of humor, making it engaging, and that's why people keep going to him. The other thing I like about Dan is, and this is song number 10, Seek and Destroy by Metallica, is he's a competitive guy. He was talking earlier about, a lot of my clients, and I think this applies to many industries, they're timid or spineless. But Dan's great because he is all about kicking ass and taking names with his marketing, with business, and with systems. So be prepared to seek and destroy with all this great stuff. Your bonus track is Eruption by Van Halen. When that came out, that was the one where Eddie Van Halen debuted the finger tapping technique. Darren, I was on the No BS Facebook last night. I was reading through the threads, and somebody gave one of Dan's quote, which the quote was, Dan Kennedy says at some point, I can't remember which product it was, if you showed your competitors everything you do in marketing, none of them would do it anyway. So the eruption is you can be the one to read this book, get this going, get involved with magnetic marketing, get involved in the membership, and you can be like Eddie Van Halen, being the pioneer and being the one guy or girl in your town if you're really ready to rock and kick ass. You ready to do this? All right, I got some homework for you, okay? So get your pens out. We're wrapping up. We're winding down. But what I want to give you is specific action items on all the things I've learned 12 years from working with Dan, being around the No BS community, magnetic marketing, all that. And this is your Why Advertising Fails homework. So get your pen ready and make me a promise, man. Do this. Just do it. Don't deal with the problems. Just focus on your marketing. Homework item number 1. I want you to go through all of your ads and give them a Dan Kennedy audit. What's a Dan Kennedy audit? Does it have a headline? Is it addressing what's going through their mind versus what's so great about you? Dig deep. What are the benefits to the customer? And I covered a lot of that in the presentation today, especially with the moms and the psychology. I talked about gene guns, I talked about hair, whatever it is. There's a psychology to what does your customer want and what are they into? That's what it's all about. Kick-ass photos of the customers. If you did this like the one thing, if you want to be lazy, don't be lazy. But if you did, just do this. If you were to show them that's who's here. All 3 businesses, same thing. Cash offers, not percentages, testimonials, social proof. You heard Dan say this, I think, 20 times today. Clear call to action. Deadline. Multiple ways to respond. Homework item number 2. Identify how in the world you're going to track your results. I gave you the deadliest catch analogy. Don't get frozen on this, guys. Don't get hung up on this. Don't go looking for shopping for some software. I mean, software is great. Get software. But until you do get these software is what I'm trying to say. Start with a pen and the paper like the deadliest catch and just write the damn thing down. And here's a tip. I know you're busy. I want to talk about that one more time in a second. But get your staff to do this for you. My staff tracks the results for me. All of my staff every day. I learned this from my buddy Mike Crow. Sends me a daily report, shows me metrics, shows me data. They're the ones doing that because they need to know them as well. So leave here. Get your staff to do it for you. Item number 3, tune out the noise. Again, you're going to come home after this so pumped up, and Russell's coming up next. He's going to be amazing. If you haven't heard him speak, he's awesome. And, of course, Dan's been amazing all day. All the speakers have. But you're going to go back, and somebody's going to think you're like just on crack cocaine because they're not going to understand because you're so excited. You're going on, and they're going to try to shoot it down. But tune out the noise, okay? Tune out the noise. Focus on your marketing. Homework item number 4, pump up the volume with your advertising. It's got to be loud. It's got to be engaging. It's got to be clear. It's got to be fun. All right, this is a big one. Homework item number 5. This is a tool I've used in my coaching businesses and my seminars for a long time, but it's very helpful. It's very powerful, and I want you to do it in the next 24 hours. Make me a promise, okay? I want you in the next 24 hours to make a list of the 10 things you're going to do to market your businesses month in and month out. Don't just have a bunch of notes that you never read. Don't just put the book aside on the coffee table. Do this. Today, 24 hours, a list of 10 things you're going to do to market and rock your business, all right? 6 is also a big one. The next time you catch yourself saying you're too busy, or one of your managers says they're too busy, or one of your employees tells you they're too busy, I want you to write a piece of paper and burn it. Burn your busy card. You're supposed to be busy. You're supposed to have problems. You're supposed to have customers. You're supposed to have a lot going on. But the one thing you cannot have is it detracting and pulling from your bandwidth to focus on the most important thing, which Dan has always taught us, and it's led me to who I am today with all the businesses, which is marketing. You can't get away from that. And again, with the problem thing. So busy is one word, bad word. Problem, also a bad word. And again, remember this, take this to heart. You are in the perennial problem business. Problems are a good thing because we come up with solutions. Shows us that we have customers, sales, and growth. So guys, make peace with it, all right? But listen, I hope you guys have had fun today. I've had a blast. I want to thank Darren for having me. Leave this event with a renewed commitment and a passion for your marketing. If your advertising is going to succeed, you got to have an urgency about what you do. And remember this, guys. Advertising, marketing, and cash flow are the most important keys to your success. So God bless you guys. Check me out at musicacademysuccess.com. And Darren.
All right, Marty, thank you so much. So, Marty, you've been around the community a long time, more than a decade, right?
12 years.
So, when you first got started, you took us up on an offer called the most incredible free gift ever. Somebody's sitting at home today on the couch, and they're like, geez, I don't know if I should do this. What would you tell them?
You're losing so much money by not doing it. So one, you have to do it, and just look at what it's done for me. That's why I took you guys through that long story of the guy that was just teaching guitar. You know what's funny for me, Darren, is, and this is why it's so important, they do take the offer. I was telling Gene last night at dinner, it's so hard for me to explain to people what I do, okay?
That's a tough question to answer, isn't it?
Yeah, so when I say business coach or, do licensing, and I went to get a car, and he said, well, I need your tax return info. I wrote it down. He said, listen, I don't need your gross sales. I need your net. I said, brother, that is the net, okay? He's like, whatever. And so my point is, I just had to give up at Thanksgiving. They said, what do you do? I teach guitar, which I haven't taught guitar 15 years. So magnetic marketing, no BS, Dan Kennedy, all these wonderful people, what they will do is it changes not only your bank account, it changes your life. And look at me. I had so much fun today. It was great. I'm not stressed out. I'm not burnt out. I'm getting better, and it's getting better. So you're just going to learn so much. And here's the big question I would say to you. You can't do it alone, okay? So, the cost is really nothing because you make the money back. It actually costs you a lot if you don't do it. And come to the events. Live events are coming back, and it's just been so important for me, and it's literally just an amazing life for me and my family.
Well, Marty, I want to say thank you for taking the time to be here today, taking the time away from your family and your business to be here. Because one of the things I truly love the most about this community, not as somebody who's a part of it, leading it now, but it's just the awesome people that I've met in this community. People like yourself, people like Gene, who I'm going to bring up next. People that you can reach out to and learn from and ask questions to who don't look at you like you're an alien with three eyes, right? So this is a place where you can feel safe, a place where success is celebrated. It's the place for prosperity. And we want to welcome you into our community. So if you haven't done it yet, go to whyadvertisingfails.com/book. Grab a copy of the book. Take a test drive of the newsletter. We'd love to have you as a part of what Dan refers to as the herd. And welcome you here to Planet Dan. With that, we're going to take a short break. After the break, I'm going to be back with one of our longtime members, lifers, a gentleman that some of you may know through one of his businesses, maybe two of his businesses, because he's got quite a following. In fact, one of my friends is one of his customers. My friend who is in Green Bay, Wisconsin, was shocked to know that I knew Gene the Machine Gun Kelly. He's like, how the hell do you know Gene? I said, well, I know Gene. And in fact, I got a bottle of wine from Gene up in my office. And he's going to bring a bottle of wine up here in a moment and tell us a little bit about his project. After Gene, we're going to take a slight break. Well, we're not going to take a slight break. We're going to then toss it to Russell Brunson, who, when I asked him what he would like me to refer to him as now, because he, like I, titles are not my cup of tea. So like a chief marketing officer doesn't really do much for me. I'm the founder of our business. I was the founder of Kids Bowl Free. I'm Darren. I'm the leader of our crew. So he said, I'm not really the CEO. He said, why don't you make me the head cheerleader of Dan Kennedy? I said, Dan Kennedy's the biggest cheerleader. So that's what he officially is at this point. But Russell's going to be on. And for anybody who has seen Russell speak, knows that in the hour we're going to spend with him today, we're going to get at least 2 hours of content, perhaps 2.5 or 3. But it's going to be truly great. So with that, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Gene will be up next, and then we're going to bring Russell on.